ready to do best. Raven team as they get ready here. It's
and just 2 wins away from doing something only postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here. Fly to the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
They'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Corey Coleman is indeed explosive. The first receiver drafted in 2016. I was drawn to his ball skills while he was at Baylor, meaning anything that's downfield, he's the guy that usually figures out how to get up and get it before the defensive back can react. And then when he gets back down on the ground with the football, look out. His run after catch, usually very impressive.
Mayfield now on second down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
8 experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Mayfield got his man complete over the middle. That's Manning. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
third
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. It's Manning. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll begin the drive on the ground with Starks. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now Starks runs through the contact, and he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week.
That's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Green 39!
Jackson on first down. To the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They're running with Starks. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal?
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Starks. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. They'll go with the keeper, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson taking it in. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the #1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And this is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, and it's 3rd and short.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Manning, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They clinched the top spots of the road to the Super Bowl.
Nation here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They run. This is Scarborough. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Jackson. Over the middle, and it's caught by Scott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Starts, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gone, 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 gone.
56, Mike, boys, 56. Check 56.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Sharp. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. We've played a quarter here on Christmas Day. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. A run here for starts. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. This is taken at the 18. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's sharp. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Detroit! Detroit!
This is Scarborough. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And they'll run it here. Able to push his way through. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Scarborough. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens will extend their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. in this amount of time. I think it was a two-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point attempt here still to come. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational, that's for... And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. 3rd down here.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And as we look at his highlights, you know, sometimes I've asked you schematically, how do you stop one player? Well, how do you stop a tight end like this without opening up other holes, partner?
You show your basic defenses, whether you're playing the 3-deep zone, the 2-deep zone, but you have your variations underneath it. So sometimes instead of the safety staying deep, the safety will drop down. A sky coverage, they call that. Sometimes the corner's responsible. You get a little, what they call a cloud, someone coming underneath. Sometimes the linebacker shows the ability to rush the passer and instead drops down and tries to get underneath the tight end as he tries to run routes. So many different things you can do from basic sets.
Trying to prevent those highlights we saw. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. A very solid gain of 27. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll try and sneak it here. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the...
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you all at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. The Bengals trying to hold on and claim victory. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Allen Hurns, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed. But there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16-0.
Yeah, I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guys.
Exactly.
You know how it works. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. The punter, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. Hit touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, but power his way forward.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty close to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now let's go.
They go play action. Mayfield. And that is incomplete here. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play fake. Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Come on, let's go.
It's Scarborough again, and this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now the Browns coming out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Mayfield on play action. Going deep here for Landry. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Mayfield. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
Flex round.
Bang.
Ohio.
Check. 53 flight.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's got him in. Complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They run again with Starks. Got some real estate inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just beat the young guy.
And oh, that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at the 23. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go! White 90!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens add on. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Point after here coming up. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Now let's go.
Mayfield to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been a man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Throwing, Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Manning. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Manning. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Green 39. Green 39.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
Now let's go. 319.
Mayfield on 1st down. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with teams jockeying for position, one thing we do know already, they're all set. They've got the #1 seed in their back pocket with still 2 games to go.
And that gives you a chance to experiment a little bit as well. It doesn't mean that you just have wholesale changes, starters don't play. I'm not talking about strictly that. I'm talking about guys who maybe haven't played enough during the year. Or you want to see them in different spots. You know, can that running back split out and catch the football a little bit as you head to the playoffs? Maybe you run a few plays to put them on tape and make your opponents watch them and say, oh, we got to prepare for that. A lot of ways they can go, knowing that they own the #1 spot.
Flex round! Flex round!
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Here we go now.
Following the interception, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now let's go. Blue, learn it.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Manning. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch,
All right, here we
but
go.
still an effective gain nonetheless.
First down, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Second down, Mayfield. His throw incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. 3, 19.
And they'll go on the ground. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Ball at a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
Now they try the right side here. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. 31 yards there and a first down. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here at a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Mayfield down. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open. They
head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Flex round! Flex round!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put you...
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll set up a throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperate, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.